Is there a word I could use to describe that? Every year, Britain's Got Talent finds amazing performers and opens doors that change their lives forever. But not everyone's path is paved with roses. Are you all okay? No? All right? Oh, Malakai Bayoh, a musical prodigy with a voice that touches hearts, stepped onto the stage without knowing the storms that were waiting for him. Behind the scenes, silent scandals loomed, ready to decide the fate of this young star. Let's look at Malakai's amazing journey, where talent and challenges come together to make an unforgettable story. Malakai Bayoh was born in London in 2010. The city is full of different cultures and opportunities for those with talent and determination. He comes from a humble family and was introduced to music at a young age, which would change his destiny in ways that no one could have imagined. From a young age, Malakai showed he had a special musical gift. His parents are from Sierra Leoneans, came to the UK in search of a better future. They brought with them a rich cultural heritage, including a deep passion for music and the performing arts. This passion was passed down to Malakai from a very young age. His home was always filled with classical and modern melodies, which naturally fueled his love of music. His mother encouraged him to join the choir at St. George's Church in South London when he was only 7 years old. But this wasn't any ordinary choir. Under the direction of conductor Scott Price, Malakai's natural talent, Malakai learned how to improve his singing skills and also discovered the deep power of music and how it can express feelings that words often fail to capture. In addition to improving his singing skills, the choir taught Malakai the values of teamwork, perseverance, and discipline. The rigorous training and public performances helped him build confidence, preparing him for even bigger stages in the future. Malakai's journey took an unexpected turn when he was chosen to sing as a soloist at a school Christmas event. Teachers and classmates were stunned when he sang "O Holy Night." That moment opened a new path for him. A video of the performance quickly went viral, getting millions of views. This sudden fame became a major milestone that pushed Malakai toward dreams bigger than he could have ever imagined. Inspired by the huge response, his family decided to take the next step. In 2022, Malakai auditioned for Britain's Got Talent, not only to show off his talent, but also to challenge himself on one of the UK's biggest talent shows. Years of studying music, unwavering family support, and a burning desire to sing had brought Malakai to this moment. For him, Britain's Got Talent wasn't just a competition, it was a chance to share his voice with the world. Every note he sang carried the hopes and dreams of a London boy ready to step into the spotlight. With a strong foundation and a heart full of passion, he was ready to take the stage. Now it was only a matter of time before his big moment. On audition day for Britain's Got Talent, Malakai Bayoh was both nervous and excited. His family and friends were with him, including his mother, who had always been his biggest fan, and his sister, who had always been there for him. Backstage was buzzing with energy as contestants eagerly prepared for their moment to shine. As Malakai stepped onto the stage, the murmurs in the audience died down and was replaced by a sense of anticipation as he faced the judges. Simon Cowell and Judge Malakai introduced himself with a level of confidence that is rarely seen in a 13-year-old. He chose to perform Pausa by Sarah Brightman, a difficult piece that required both great vocal technique and deep emotional expression. From the first notes, the room fell silent, captivated by the purity, strength, and emotion in Malakai's voice. As he reached the high notes with grace and precision, the audience seemed to hold their breath. When the last note rang out, the whole room erupted in cheers. Many people stood up and cheered loudly. The judges looked at each other in shock. Simon Cowell, who is known for giving harsh feedback, was the first to speak. He praised Malakai's amazing voice and praised his courage for choosing such a difficult song and performing it perfectly. Amanda Holden praised the unique emotional connection he made through each lyric. Then came the deciding moment. Simon Cowell reached for the golden buzzer and pressed it. Sparking gold confetti fell from the ceiling. Malakai was sent straight to the live shows after getting the golden buzzer. This was more than just a ticket to the next round. It was proof of his talent and the start of a bright new journey. Backstage, Malakai broke down in tears while being held by his family. He had not only impressed the judges and audience, but he had also taken the first step toward making his dreams come true. This audition wasn't just a performance, it was the beginning of a new chapter full of opportunities. Malakai was no longer just another contestant after winning the golden buzzer, he was now a top contender. But with fame came a lot of pressure, and for the semi-finals, he chose to perform Omo Babino Caro by Jao Pini, a song that required advanced vocal technique and deep emotional expression. It was a risky choice for a young singer, but it also gave him a chance to show how mature his voice was, and he began a period of intense training unlike ever before. Hours were spent perfecting his voice, with Malakai worked with vocal coaches to master the technical challenges of opera. They helped him control his breath and expand his range, but they also helped him explore the deep emotions that were hidden in every note. As the semifinals got closer, Malakai's schedule became more and more full of vocal rehearsals, stage runs, and sessions with performance experts. A stage coach helped him fine-tune his presence, making sure that every gesture and expression connected with the audience. Malakai's semi-final performance showed how hard he had worked and how dedicated he was. Omo Babino Caro required both great vocal control and a delicate emotional delivery to capture the desperate plea of a daughter to her father. As he finished the last note, the audience erupted in thunderous applause, and the judges couldn't hide their admiration. Alicia Dixon was especially impressed by how Malakai connected with the audience, making them not only listen but really feel every word. In the midst of all the attention, a heartbreaking tragedy happened, testing Malakai's strength like never before. On the eve of the finals, he suffered a huge personal loss. His grandmother, who had been with him throughout his journey, died. The news came on a cold morning, a stark contrast to the warmth his grandmother had always brought into his life. She had been by his side during practice, cheering him on through tough times, and was always proud of him. His grandmother's death was a shock that shook his whole world. At a time when he thought he might break, he found strength in his family, mentors, and friends from a show. They not only comforted him, but they also reminded him that his grandmother had always been proud of his accomplishments and would have wanted him to keep going. This tragedy, though painful, pushed Malakai to reach a new level of artistry. It showed the true power of an artist, the ability to turn sadness into music and use those feelings to touch others. Malakai stepped into the grand finale, ready to give it his all on stage. The whole UK was looking forward to this moment. It was the crowning night of Britain's Got Talent, and a young talent was ready to win over the country. Malakai chose Ness and Dorma, the legendary aria from Pandit by Peony, which was a risky choice because the piece needed a wide vocal range, perfect technique, and a strong emotional core to get across its message of triumph over all odds. As the curtain slowly rose, Malakai walked out on stage in a sleek black tux, CTO, exuding the poise of a true opera performer. As soon as he started singing, it was clear that this was more than just a performance. His voice, strong, unwavering, and full of emotion, echoed through the auditorium, soared through the high notes with stunning clarity and power. By the time he got to the climax, his passion and determination were more clear than ever. Malakai wasn't just singing, he was telling a story. As the last note faded, there was complete silence in the auditorium before a round of rousing applause filled the whole building. Many people in the audience rose to their feet in admiration, and some couldn't hold back tears because Malakai had moved them so deeply. It wasn't just flawless technique, it was the power of a soul that had known pain, love, and the ability to turn loss into art. The judges had seen Malakai's journey from the very beginning and could say that. Simon Cowell, who is known for giving harsh criticism, started his speech with an unusual tone of respect. "This wasn't just a performance, it was a statement," he said. "You didn't just prove you have an amazing voice, you show that you have the heart and soul to bring life to a piece as complex as this." Alicia Dixon nodded, her eyes shining. "You have grown tremendously since the first day you stepped on this stage tonight. You didn't just perform, you truly connected with everyone in this room." Bruno Tonoli couldn't hold back his excitement. "This was a world-class performance, Malakai. The presence, the emotion, the technique, everything came together flawlessly. You are a shining star, and no matter what happens tonight, your future is undeniably bright." Amanda Holden, who had followed Malakai's journey with deep compassion, spoke with emotion. "Malakai, you have faced challenges that no one should have to endure at your age, but you have overcome them. Tonight you sang with your soul, and it was an honor to hear it." As the judges talked about their thoughts, everyone in the room knew that Malakai had not only met but far surpassed the high expectations set for him in the final. He was no longer just an exceptional contestant, he had become one of the most memorable young artists in Britain's Got Talent history. No matter how the competition turned out, one thing was a certainty: Malakai Bayoh had won. Not only did he win on stage, but he also won the hearts of millions of people, which was the greatest victory an artist could ever achieve. A new beginning after Britain's Got Talent, Malakai Bayoh's grand final performance didn't just mark the end of a journey, it also marked the start of a promising new chapter for this amazing young talent. In the world of classical music, everyone was eager to see what he did next after his deeply emotional journey. On the show, Malakai's career not only continued, it took off. Universal Music noticed his amazing talent, and right after the final, he signed a recording contract with a major label. This was a big step in his career as a classical musician. That fall, Malakai released his first album, Golden, which was a mix of classical pieces and modern songs that showed off his artistic range and depth. Notably, the album featured collaborations with two famous artists, Sir Carl Jenkins and Andrew Lloyd Webber, two famous musicians who were very interested in Malakai's artistic growth. Gave Golden great reviews when it came out. They praised how mature and emotional Malakai was in every note. The album quickly topped the official classical music charts and did very well on the Scottish album charts, solidifying his status as a rising star in the classical music world. The success of Golden led to opportunities to play major roles. Malakai made his debut at the Royal Albert Hall, singing songs from the album with a full symphony orchestra. The event was broadcast live, which allowed him to capture the attention of millions more people and solidify his reputation as a promising young opera singer. After that, Malakai continued to grace the stages of major music festivals across Europe, where he left a lasting impression alongside seasoned veterans. His success was more than just personal achievement, it caused a stir in the classical music world. Malakai became an inspiration for many young musicians, rekindling interest in a genre usually dominated by older artists. Music schools and youth orchestras saw an increase in enrollment, with many aspiring musicians citing Malakai's performances as the spark that sparked their love for classical music. His name came up a lot in conversations about the role of young talent in the arts and how important it is to nurture musical prodigies from a young age. In addition to his solo career, Malakai is involved in community outreach programs and works with music education groups to host workshops and classes for young singers who want to explore their potential. He always stresses the importance of hard work, education, and a love for music. "Every song I form carries a part of my story in my heart," Malakai said in an interview. He believes that personal experiences, whether they are happy or sad, make art better. This is one of the most important lessons Malakai has learned. To become a talented artist and a symbol of sincerity and depth in music, he wants to stay true to himself in an industry shaped by trends and commercial pressures. Malakai Bayoh's journey from a promising contestant on Britain's Got Talent to a famous classical singer on the international stage is a testament to talent, persistence, and the unifying power of music. With a rising career and growing influence, he is not only solidifying his place in the industry, but also paving the way for others to follow in his footsteps, setting an example for the next generation of young artists. These values have become guiding principles in Malakai's musical journey, allowing him to shine not only on stage, but also in preserving and sharing the artistic legacy he holds dear. Continuing the journey and musical legacy looking ahead, Malakai's goals go beyond his singing career. He wants to use his fame to promote music education, especially for kids from poor families. One of his biggest dreams is to open a music school where I believe that any child who loves music should be able to follow their dream without having to worry about money, Malakai said, reiterating his dedication to giving back to the community that has always helped him. Malakai's vocal coaches and mentors have high hopes for him, noticing the unique blend of technical mastery and emotional depth that makes him stand out in the world of classical music. Malakai is more than just a great singer, he tells stories. Malakai is also expanding his musical horizons. He wants to try out different styles, even writing his own music to make works that are uniquely his own. He also wants to work with artists from different genres to make new musical fusions that reach a wider audience. Malakai's family, especially his mother, is proud of both his accomplishments and the person he has become. Watching him grow up kind and humble despite all the attention he gets makes me prouder than any award, she said in an interview. He is still very thankful to his family, especially his mother and late grandmother, who taught him to love art. Beyond fleeting fame, my family always reminds me that the true value of music is not in the applause, but in how sincerely you convey it, he said as he looked to the future. Malakai Bayoh is no longer just a young singer who came up on Britain's Got Talent. From a gifted contestant to a rising classical star, Malakai's journey shows the power of talent, hard work, and a genuine love for the arts. He wants to increase his influence within and outside of the music industry, and his career is continuing to grow, leaving a lasting impression not only on stage, but also in the hearts of music fans all over the world. In the near future, Malakai will continue to look for new opportunities and take on international roles. We can't wait to hear what this amazing voice does next on her music projects, and if they inspire other artists to follow their dreams.